Hi, this is Praveen. I am certified Salesforce administrator and working in Tech Mahindra and also one of the Salesforce mentor of K University and volunteer of New Delhi Developer Group. These are the initiatives taken by New Delhi. There are Twitter handles and hashtag. You can also join New Delhi Developer Group in Trailblazer community so that you can get updates about the upcoming sessions and you can follow our website so you can get daily updates about the session. Today we joined in Impact Salesforce Saturday session. This is virtual session organized by New Delhi Salesforce Developer Group. As I said before, you can find the past and upcoming sessions in the New Delhi as Salesforce Developer Group website, and also you can get register from our website, so you can get daily updates about the session. Talent Central. Talent Central is again an initiative which is taken up by the New Delhi Salesforce Developer Group. It is same like Naukri and Indeed. It acts like bridge in between the Salesforce aspiring students and the company looking for the talented students. And the Talent Central have success stories getting job opportunities with the help of Talent Central. Recently, New Delhi Developer Group started new initiative called Let's Implement. Here they are connecting the mentors and mentees along with the mentorship central. They can they will also get the hands-on experience with the guidance under the mentors. So this is also great opportunity. Journey to Salesforce is an initiative taken by Salesforce India Developer Group Relations. These are the top contributors who help in every session to organize the session to share the details of every session on social media. Thanks. These are the New Delhi Salesforce Developer Group social media handles. You can follow this channel and get updates every day. Thanks to our sponsors Cloud Vandana and Grey Ops. Thank you so much guys for viewing today's session and I hope you all have great session and thank you. Over to Sweta ma'am.
Thank you, Praveen, for giving me such a nice introduction. Good morning and good evening, everybody, according to your time zones. My name is Shweta Bhardwaj Kaushik, and I am a PhD in Computational Natural Sciences from IIIT Hyderabad. Also, I did my graduate certificate in Data Analytics and Technology from University of Memphis, United States. And currently, I'm working as a business intelligence report analyst at Grey Opus Technologies. So let me share my screen with you. So, so these are my um, social media handles, the LinkedIn and Twitter information. So where you can reach me after this session if you are not, able to understand anything about this Tableau. So first of all, we will be discussing about the agenda of today's presentation. So in the very beginning, I'll be telling you how data analytics has evolved over the years and what is the reason that why we are, understanding and trying to learn about Tableau. Then we will understand about the basics of Tableau installations. and how to connect to different sources, data sources. Further, I'll be telling you about the basics in Tableau, that is the concepts of measures and dimensions. So what is a live versus extract connection to the data? And in the later part of the presentation, I will tell you about how to prepare different simple charts such as bar charts and line charts, and then eventually saving the work which you have done, like saving the workbook. So first of all, the very general things about data analytics, how it has evolved over the years. So data visualization has actually, has a history when people used to use it in second century in Egypt, where they use the astronomical information for the navigation purposes. But today we will be discussing mainly about, the modern era of data analytics. So it started in 1980s, where people used to build some static reports, sometimes some interactive. So they are used to tell that what has actually happened um, in a particular project. Then the era of 1990s came when Excel sheet and visual analysis came. So there they started analyzing that why a particular any report, why it has happened, any event. So in the time of 2000, the new concept of dashboard and scorecard came, and they used to tell that what's actually happening. In the starting of 2010, so there actually the new words in the market came about data mining and data science. They started predicting about what will happen in the future. Now coming to the recent times of 2020s, where so many different amazing things are happening in the data analytics. Now people are definitely describing the data, they are actually predicting the data, and then now people are also using the prescriptive analytics. So there are three different terms now: descriptive, uh, predictive, and prescriptive analytics. So moving on to the emergence of data visualization, how it has, how different companies have contributed towards this field. So there are different softwares available in the market. So this graph, as you can see, is from the source Gartner, where they yearly tell the community that which softwares are leading. So basically, they have two different criteria on which they will tell which software is leading. So the criteria are depending on the how its ability to execute and how completeness of the vision of that software. So it's clearly visible in this graph that there are two leading softwares. One is by Microsoft Power BI and another is Tableau. There are other software also, but they are not they are not under the leaders. So coming on to the topic of why Tableau. So before that, I want to tell you that Tableau was basically founded by computer science professionals in Stanford University in 2003, and then it was recently acquired by Salesforce in 2019. So there's a way of embedding Tableau in Salesforce. I'll be discussing about that part in my last session. But in the first two sessions, I'll be discussing about mainly Tableau. So we'll be coming back to Salesforce in the last session. So why Tableau? So it is very easy to learn and use. And also it is one of the best BI tools in the market. Its visualizations are very interactive and enhanced. It has access to large data sources and data sets. I will be showing you in the coming slides. The beautiful features of data joining and data blending. And Tableau has launched this software for all kind of devices. So it's available for phones, tablets, laptops. So it's very handy. So coming on the type of Tableau products, I hope everybody is getting what I told you till now. So there is no problem in my speed or voice. So if anybody is facing any issue, if you want to, you want me to decrease my speed or my volume, kindly let me know. I will adjust accordingly. Thank you very much. So I'll be, moving on with this phase, and I'll be, taking these questions in the end because it becomes difficult to switch between different slides and questions. All right. Thank you. I'll start. So coming to uh, uh, the different types of Tableau products. So there are various types. Some of them are there's a Tableau desktop version, Tableau public, Tableau online, server, reader, prep. These are one of the important ones. Then there are too many which I'm not telling in this current section. So what is the difference between all these kind of products? So Tableau desktop, it will allow you to create and publish your workbooks. It's used everywhere, the desktop version. Then Tableau public, it will allow you to create workbook and then you can publish on a Tableau public platform. So these two versions are free, desktop and public. So desktop version is the trial version is available for 15 days, and public, if you are a student from some university, you can get that version for 1 year as well. Then there is a version like Tableau online. So it has most of the, it's almost like Tableau desktop, but it has some functionalities lesser than on the desktop version. Then another one is server. So definitely it will allow you to publish and share your workbook. Then the reader version is there. So it's a free version. Uh, so it will allow you to just read the workbook, but you cannot create or modify the existing workbook. And then Tableau Prep is a data preparation ETL tool. All right. So now moving on to the installation part. So for this Tableau session, we will be focusing on the Tableau desktop installation. Why I'm focusing mainly on the desktop one, because first of all, this one is free for 15 days. The trial version is available. And the second important point is that there are various functionalities which are available in the desktop version. Otherwise, they are not available in the public. So I want you to learn as many functionalities as you can. Just go to this link of Tableau desktop and just enter your credentials, download the exe file. You can easily, I think, open the download file and accept all the terms and conditions. And you're ready to work with Tableau. So moving on to the data sources. So before that, I will tell you how a interface looks like. So sorry. Can you guys see the screen? Can anybody ping me and tell? Yes. So when you open, so I'll just show you from my screen. First, start from my screen. It will be much easier for you. So this is like, if you see the screen, so this is the icon which will come once you install the software. So if you just open it, this is I have installed 2-3 different versions, but I'll be using Tableau desktop. So I have installed Tableau public also, then Prep also in my system. But I'm telling you only about desktop now. Okay. So once you open the app, So this will be your first interface. So just ignore all the, okay, then again, 1 minute. I need to reach here. This is your interface. So just ignore all these workbooks because these are all my old workbooks. So, but when you will install it for the first time, you will not see all these things. You will just see these 3 different sample workbooks. All right. So this is the interface. This is how it will look like. And moving on towards the presentation. Okay. So sorry for some delay. You can see the screen, right? So moving on to the different kind of data sources, just tell me in between because I'm switching between the windows. I don't want anything to be messed up. So there are different windows, okay? Just tell me in between. Anybody can tell me or like ping me in between. There are different sources, data sources in which you can connect. So this is one of the best features in Tableau. So you can connect directly to a file. So different kind of files like Excel, text, Access, PDF, JSON, these things. Then you can connect to the server, like Tableau server or Microsoft SQL. And then there will be different ones here. Again, here. Okay, so I was here. So here you can see that to the different servers you can connect. And if you want to see more servers, so if you see in this like big list, there's the thing which is Salesforce, right? You can see that. So I think this is the main focus of people who are coming to this presentation. Somebody ping me. Okay, I will be taking this question in the end because this is just discontinuing my flow on the presentation. So just let me know in the end. So I think most of the people are interested in the Salesforce. So you can connect to the sales data from the Salesforce also. And then there are different options. All right. So for this session, we will be taking a sample data. So just connect to the sample superstore data. Just click it and there you go. You have the data. All right. Now moving on to the presentation. My screen visible. So first of all, I am sure that most of you might be aware about the types of data, but for few of them who are not, so I'll just briefly tell you about the different types of data which are available. So 1 minute. So I'll be just starting my audio file for once, and if you're not able to hear, just let me know. Okay, about the different types of data.
Now let's talk about the kind of data types. So there are two types, that is qualitative and quantitative. First, I will talk about the qualitative data type, which is also known as categorical data type. So this describes the object under consideration using a finite set of discrete classes. It means that this type of data cannot be counted or measured easily using numbers and therefore divided into categories. For example, the gender of a person, that is male, female, or others, is a very good example of this data type. So these are then further categorized into two subcategories, that is nominal and the ordinal. So for the nominal, let's take the example of the color, that is red or blue, or the gender, that is male, female, or others. So there are set of values that don't possess a natural ordering. Whereas if we take the example of the grading system in university, so there is a set order. So that is A, B, or C. Similarly, when we go to a shopping center to buy some clothes, so every clothing brand has sorted their clothes based on the sizes, that is small, medium, or large. So this kind of data type is ordinal. Now moving on to quantitative data type. So this data type tries to quantify things, and it does by considering numerical values that make it countable in nature. For example, the height of a person. So the height can range from 5.1 feet to 2, 3, 4. So this is a quantitative value. Another example is the temperature. The temperature can vary from 0 degrees till whatever, 100 or even more than that. So there are two subcategories which describe them clearly, that is the discrete and continuous. So the numerical values which fall under are integers or whole numbers are placed under the discrete category. That means, let's say the number of apples. So this is an example of discrete data type. It can be 3, 4, or 5, 6, as many as, but that it cannot be 3.5 or 3.6. On the other hand, for the continuous data type, the fractional numbers are considered as continuous values. This can take the form of the temperature of yearly temperature. So it can vary from 20.1 to 20.2, 3, 4, 5. Then these degrees Celsius and so on. Similarly, the height that falls into the continuous category.
I'm sorry. I need to reshare my screen. 1 minute, please. You can see the screen, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Somebody pinged me in between. Oh, okay. So now moving on to the, how your workspace looks like. So before that, let me show you about when you import the data into Tableau. How, I mean, very in the very beginning, how do you see the data and all these things? So okay. So as I told you that we have taken the sample superstore data. Okay. So these are the different tables which are in that data. So the order table, people, returns, order. So whenever you want to start with your workbook, just take any of the table. Suppose, let's say we are taking this order table. You have to just simply drag and drop it here. It will take some time refreshing, and then all the tables will come. All the columns will come. Okay, so these are the different columns here. So row ID, order date, ship mode, then customer name, country, region, city, and so many columns are there. You can go and you can see, right? Then I would like to tell you that Tableau is smart enough to differentiate between the kind of data it is. So suppose let's say this order date. So this is a date. So this different icon is shown here, which represents the date. So now if you see, then the shipmentship mode or the customer ID, customer name, these are all string. So it will just, it's smart enough. It will tell this is a string data. And if you see the country region, so this is like a location. So this icon is different for a location kind of data. So you can see it has already categorized this. It is a good practice. So whenever you get any fresh kind of data, just have a look that it has, actually it will do it of its own, but you have to check it every time beforehand. It has done it in a right way or no. So it's always a good practice to do that. You will be doing it whenever you need any fresh data, because this is a very, this is a sample data. This data is very much clean, so there is no problem in the data as well. But if you face any real-time project, then data will not look so clean and so good. So you have to really clean and you have to make it very beautiful before starting your worksheet. So that's a completely, it's a big project whenever any data analysts do that. Right, but I'm telling, yeah, Abhishek, it's right. But this data is for this session only, right? So it's not like it's a dummy data, right? So moving on to the presentation. So now how your worksheet will look like workspace. So this is the kind of interface which you will see before, whenever you are preparing any chart or graph. So I'll just briefly tell you what are all different symbols and icons, what do they mean and where they are used. So if you see the topmost top thing, the top column, so these are known as the toolbars. In this, there are various options like file, data, worksheet, dashboards. So whenever, during the process of our learning, I'll be explaining you the uses of all these different icons. Then on the side panel, there is a data pane. Under that, it's all the dimensions are mentioned. Just below that, all the measures I mentioned. On the in the bottom, uh, there are two, like there's an icon for the data source. Then if you see, there are these small icons. One is for the new sheet, another is for preparing a dashboard, and the third one is for preparing a story. So we will definitely in our further learning, all these points will be told. Just for the beginning, I am just telling you beforehand just small few things. This center one is a view pane where you will actually see your chart. Then there are like a there's a row and there's a column pane where you can actually put your dimensions and measures. In between, it's a pages card. Just below that is a filter card, and then marks card. These things are very important to learn and understand for building simple charts and eventually dashboards. So moving further, so what is the difference between the live and extract connection? Which one to use? So it's a very important point beforehand. So it's highly dependent on the kind of data you are using. So whenever you connect to any data source, it will by default connect live to that data. So that, as you already know, since it is live data, so it will give you most updated information about the data. The data will be in real time, so you can refresh the visualizations as soon as the data is updated. So where are these kind of connections are used? So if you take the example of hospitals, where people are incoming patients are coming, then outgoing patients are there. So they need to always see the freshest possible data. So their live connections are used. Whereas, what is an extract connection? So extract is the snapshot of any data. So that data will be for a particular time. So you can view the data files remotely also, even if you don't access to the internet. And since it is not connected live, So the performance will be really good. Also, the portability of data is very good here. So it's where it is used. So it is used for the visualizations where people have to study the weekly trends or even the daily trends. So there they can use the extract connections. So I'll show you um, in the window where where these things are shown. So if you go to Tableau connection, the screen. So you can see on the top right side, so connection thing is given, live or extract. So by default, as I told you, so when I connected it to the data, this was a live connection. So if you want, I mean, it's a good practice that you prepared it in extract. So use this extract mode, and it will just refresh and use that. But it is really dependent on which kind of project you are doing. All right. Then again, moving on to the presentation. I hope everybody is up to is with me in this presentation. Whatever I have told is clear, and then I move forward. Okay, there's one somebody pinged. All right. So now I'll be briefly telling you about few basics, so which are really required. These are the basics which you should know beforehand starting the any Tableau worksheet. So what are dimensions and measures? So as I have shown you in the window that there's a dimension pane, then just below that is a measures pane. So dimension is actually a qualitative value, such as name, date, or even the geographical data. So it is used to categorize, segment, and reveal the details in your data. We'll be coming to all these points, and I'll go to Tableau window. Uh, let's go to the window directly, Tableau window. Okay, so if you go to the sheet, I'm sorry. You can see the screen, right? This Tableau screen. So this, the left one, this is the dimension pane. All these things like customer name, order, location, all these things come under dimension category. Whereas this below thing, it comes under measure category. So what is a measure? Um, so it's a numeric quantity. It's a qualitative value that you can actually measure. So whenever you use a measure or drag a measure to the rows or column shelf, Tableau automatically aggregates it. That means it makes either the sum or the count. So just use the aggregation of that. So it does not affect the level of details in our view. Then the second concept is about the continuous and discrete values. So what are continuous? So continuous values are actually the color of that value will be green. So I'm moving towards the window. So, okay, so if you see, so, these things like under the measure, like discount, profit ratio, these are all shown in green color. Okay, if you just drag one of them here, this pill is green color. So this is a continuous quantity. Whereas if you drag one of them, suppose I'm dragging category. So this pill which is formed here, this pill is blue color. This is a discrete quantity. So generally the continuous quantities form the one of the axis, whereas the discrete form the headers here. Just one of the examples. All right. So now we will be coming on exploring and analyzing the data. And I'll just briefly explain you about two simple charts, that is line chart and bar chart, where they are used and how to create them. First is line chart. So it's the most commonly used plot in so many data visualization projects. So where it is used actually, when you have to display any trend over a period of time. So line chart is the best, best representation of that kind of data. So it sequentially connect individual numeric data points over that time. So line charts can be like single line chart or like two series or multiple. So now let's see how you create them. Okay, I'll switch on to that window of Tableau. Not this one. Not this one. One moment, please. Okay. So you can see the screen, right? Hello? Yeah. All right. So this is one of the kind of line charts which I have created for your purpose. Let's see how these kind of charts are created. I'll just bring the new worksheet. Just start a new worksheet here. Suppose, let's say we want to, here what we have done, we want to study the profit over, what is the profit over the years or over the months. So just, take the year data. This will be order date. So just take this data and drag it over the column. Yeah. So this data is from 2016, 17, 18, and 19. And we want to study the profit. So just drag the profit to the rows shelf. As I already told you that whenever you just drag any measure to the any row or column shelf, Tableau will automatically aggregate it. So it has aggregated the sum of that value, that is the sum of the profit. So then there are different aggregations available that are average, median, count. We will be coming to these different kind of aggregations in our next session. I will briefly tell you in the next session because that the details are out of the scope of our sessions. Then so okay, this is the line graph from the representation of profit over the years from 2016 to 17, 18, 19. So if you want to, this is just for years, you can further increase the detail. Just click this plus sign. So this will tell you so the quarterly information of this trend. So for 2016, how this profit has changed from first quarter to second to third to fourth. So this is for 4 different years. Similarly, you can go to the further detail of months, and even it will give it to the day order also. So this is the increasing the level of granularity of the data. If you remember that when I was telling you about the dimension thing, when I was discussing that, I told you that it will affect the level of granularity. So that concept comes here, that what is the meaning of that granularity. You can actually increase the detail of this information. All right. So now, how to edit this graph. So editing is very important point because we are talking about visualization things here. So if the visuals are not good, people might not appreciate your work. So visuals should be very good in this field. So if you see here, so if you see this marks card, so this card is very important. So for the very first thing is color. So if you want to change that, just click it and whichever color you want. Suppose I want green color, click and this line will be green. Second is, if the thickness you want to increase, definitely go to the size card. You can increase the size of the thickness. Then label will show the values. show the marks level. It will show the individual values of all these points. So this label thing can be, created from here, or just, click this T symbol here. You can create or you can erase it. Then there are, like, you can see which path you want. So I have selected this. You can even use this one or this one. But we are in, this is the best representation of lines, but it really depends which one you want according to your representation. So here, the tooltip is there. You can write something about this data, and that information will come somewhere here. Okay, so this was about that particular view, about this particular line, and you can also edit the axis. So just click on this one, this axis, and format the font. You can change the font. So you can definitely, you have to change the font if you want to make it bold. Okay, it can be done. Increasing the size, because when you create a dashboard, you cannot if you use really small fonts in the individual worksheets. In the dashboard, these small fonts will not be even visible. So you have to, whenever you are making any worksheet, you have to make it in a manner that eventually you'll be creating a dashboard, and all these, like, small numbers and everything should be visible, so that people will able to, get the real values. They will not to really use the microscope and see the values there. So these things are really important in visualization. And here you can use whichever font you like. Mm, Suppose I'm using this Tableau Light, whatever. So depends on your choice. So this kind of editing can be done. Then we can see that this kind of line chart. So how this kind of line chart is done. If you see that here, just right click it, so you can see that there are two different year given here. So the top one, the bottom one. So we are particularly using the top one. So this is telling me what is the sum of profit for all. What is the sum of all the profits from 2016, for 2017, 2018? Wherever, if you use this one, so if you use this one, you see that this has actually changed. So you have to really understand which information you want. Suppose you want to, further increase it. You want to, okay, if you want to increase it further, I will be coming to the cautions. Don't worry, because we have some time in the end. Because just one more chart is left, then we will come. So just increase the granularity, and you can further see this is by the month and all. So you have to really understand the requirement of your work and see which chart you want. Okay, and then the next basic chart we are doing here is the graph chart, the bar chart. Okay. So what is a bar chart? So bar charts are they look like this. So they are often used to compare data across different categories. You can, like, make it like horizontal or vertical. I'll be showing you in the Tableau window. So they are easy to read and understand. So, and easy to see quickly which category is biggest. So if you want to understand the ranking of the categories, bar chart are the best options. So let's move on to the window and see how we create them and how they look like. Okay, this is a bar chart. This is the example of bar chart. So let's see how we have created, how to create them. So in this I have studied. So what is, the sum of sales of different categories? So what are the different categories here? The categories are furniture, office supplies, and technology. So what is the sum of sales of furniture, office supplies, and all? Then further, I have increased the information about the subcategories. So what are the subcategories under furniture? Chairs, tables, book. So under office supplies are binders, paper, are things, envelopes and labels. So this, let's see how we create this kind of chart. New worksheet. So just drag the category dimension on the column pane and sales to the rows shelf. Okay, so this is the simple chart. So this is telling me, so what is the sum of sales for different categories? So furniture is one category, office is another, and technology is the other categories. So there's a beautiful feature where you can sort. So here you can see either you can, see it in an ascending way or the descending way. So you can see which one is the highest, which category has the highest sales and which is the lowest. And again, we can change the visualization here. Just, increase the size of this. And if you want to change the color, make it maybe green. The size looks really big, so you can change the size accordingly or according to your wish. Then you can always label. It's better to label. They will just show the number, actual figures here. Then this is the first thing. Then, as I told you that in the previous line charts, that you can definitely edit this axis. Just format that font, and then here just increase the size a little bit accordingly. Then make it bold. Similarly, here you can do, and then if you want to increase the granularity, suppose I want to, see about the subcategories also, like the graph which I have created, the already created graph. Either you just drag the subcategory to this column shelf, or just, click this button. So now this has increased the detail in the data, detail in your view. So now the subcategories, for one category, there are different subcategories given: phone, then accessories, and then these things. And similarly in furniture, chairs, table, and then bookcases, these information. So since I have already sorted it, all these different bars are, in a sorted manner. If somebody asks you, okay, which under the category office supplies, which subcategory has the highest number of sales? So you can usually see, okay, office supplies, storage was a um, subcategory with highest sales. So this is the way you use bar graphs. Secondly, you can change the color, individual colors also. So just use it, and just, I think, just make it here. Okay, I'm sorry, not that. 1 minute, let me see. We can tag the subcategory instead of using multiple column. Yeah, there is a way to create the stack charts. So you can do that, but I haven't, done it in the current session because I was just concentrating on the basic charts. So about the detailed charts and the complex charts, I'll be going to the, next session where I'll be discussing about more difficult charts. If you guys want, so my idea is to just give you some brief introduction. So I'll be discussing maybe 3 or 4 type of charts in the next session. If you want, particular kind of chart, just let me know. Just let me know in advance. I will include in my next session. Okay. We can name the heading of the columns. Heading of which columns you're telling? This one? Which headings here? Okay, you can rename the name of this sheet. Okay, I should tell you all these small details. Okay, whenever you create a new sheet, there is an option to rename it. So just right click and rename this sheet. Let's say this is bar chart 2. Or this is the name of the sheet. Here also you can change the name. Just change the name to, say, you're going out of time. Praveen, just let me know. Okay.
Hi, Shweta.
Hi.
Yeah. Shweta, maybe you can answer this one, and then maybe at the end of the time or end of the session, we can take rest of the question in the interest of time.
All right. Yeah. Thank you for reminding me.
Sure.
Okay. You can just rename it. Let's say I've written sales for gadget. Sorry. Okay. Anything like that. So let's move on further. We are running out of time. Next one is okay, about saving your workbook in Tableau. All right. So I'll be coming to the saving the data sources also, but first come to that workbook thing. So the workbook which you have created. So there are two ways which you by which you can save the workbook. First is just save the file as .twb extension. So it will hold your worksheets plus your dashboards. And the other option is saving the packaged workbooks where that is a .twbx format, where that package version will contain the worksheet, dashboard, stories along with your data and all the changes which you have made to your data. So all the changes as in the next sessions, I'll be telling you about different, how to create the sets, the groups, and calculated fields. These things I'll be telling you. So whenever you create all these new information, so all that information is saved in .twbx format. So this is always a good idea to save your data in the packaged workbook version. Okay, so then there were all right. So let's I'll show you how to save actually. So we were on this. This is our workbook. This is the workbook. So you have created like 3 or 4 sheets, whatever, and then just directly go to the file and then first is save as. So this option is if you see here, just name it, then simply it's like Tableau workbook.twb format or .twbx format. So whichever format you want to save, and whenever you are whenever you are exporting a package workbook, so the easiest one is export the package workbook. Directly click here and sorry, export the package workbooks, and then just rename your file and save it from here. Okay. So this then about the saving your data sources. So for that also there are two different ways. One is just a data source, that is .tds format. It will have the information for you to, if you want to connect to the data source in the future. So including the following information, that is the type of data source, and if you have created any group sets or calculated fields in the bins. So we'll be coming to these topics in the next session of the presentation. And then the second kind is second way of saving the data sources Tableau is .tdsx format. So here it contains all the information like a TDS file, as well as a copy of any local file based data or extracts. So this will be a zip file. So these are the two ways. Generally, whenever you create, like most of the time, whenever you create a workbook, so most of the times people use like saving the workbook option. That is most widely used option. Okay, these are few of the slides which I have created for next session. So we have now you can ask me questions if there are any. Okay, so what is workbook? Please explain a little bit. So workbook is all right. Okay. So whenever you create any chart, suppose you're creating one chart or two charts. So this is one of the sheets. This is a worksheet, and all this along with data and your chart, all these things are known as workbooks. All right, just a term to save your work which you have done. How to share the packages with others. Okay, so if you okay, so as I have told you, this is a package like Tableau desktop version. So it's just you will get a .twbx file. So that will be a complete data file along with the charts you have created. So then you can use any for the desktop version. So if it's so there are various ways you can send each other, like normal. How do you share the data? Or if you are using if you're using public Tableau public, then you have to actually you save that data on the public platform, and another people can take from there. If you're connected to server or online, that is the way you will save your complete workbook on that server or online version, and any other person who have the credentials can connect to it. Size limit of data. Okay, so I think Tableau can hold as many as so many rows actually. So I can tell you that I mean if you use I think you can go till, I mean if you have, I can tell you if you have even 32 tables with lot of data, Tableau can easily handle that. Tableau can use all the joins to get that information. And if you are, I mean if you are connected to any other data source like all these data sources available here. So like this is just a sample superstore, then there are various data sources. Oh, what happened? I think the system is slow now. So it can handle a lot of data. 32 tables, I told you. Joining 32 tables with lot of data is a good thing to handle. Okay. There.
Yeah, so Shweta, this is another question which did came from Lakshmi. Can we connect Tableau with Salesforce?
Okay. So yes, I have mentioned in my the first 2 or 3 slides. So there is a way in which you can embed Tableau in the Salesforce. So I'll be coming, if you guys want, I'll be coming to that topic in my last session. So whatever reports you make in Tableau, you can always see them in Salesforce. So there's a particular way for that. We'll be coming to that. And you can always, in the beginning, I told you, you can always get the data from Salesforce as well if you connect it to Salesforce.
Great. So last question, maybe two more we'll take. We just have to onboard. Can we use these charts with lightning components? So again, the similar question, can we use these chart in Salesforce custom development?
Yeah, see, the first thing is we will be building all these reports and all these dashboards in Tableau. Why we are using Tableau for Salesforce? Because Salesforce has few limitations. It cannot build such beautiful charts and reports. So you can always create these reports in Tableau, and then you use this Lightning component for embedding. So you can always get these reports to the Salesforce environment, and there you can, if you want, you can little bit adjust your information. Whenever you want to create any chart, you have to create it in Tableau.
Okay. So another question is how many rows? Like, can we dump 200K records or 400K records? I think it's about the size again. Then how
Yeah.
much time it takes to refresh the data or group the data or plot these charts?
So group to refresh the data, it really depends on your definitely the connection, and it depends on how big the data is. If the data is as I told you, if you are using an extract, that works really fast, but you are using a live connection, it really depends on your kind of data. So there is no single answer for that. Then we were somewhere on the, okay, how much time to create, group the data or plot these charts. So it depends on your level of expertise in Tableau. So if you are very good, you can, if you understand the requirement very well, you can create the chart in less time. But definitely if somebody is starting to learn it, person will take more time because that time you have to learn the basics. And then grouping the data, yeah, all these things really depend on your level of expertise, how much you practice, how much you know about uh, the software, and also some statistical information you require, basics of statistics and all. So it really depends from person to person.
Okay. So maybe the question was more around, Shweta, how much time it takes with respect to the connection between Salesforce or any other destination org where you're bringing the charts. Uh, that was more
Okay,
question,
that
I
time.
believe.
Okay. So how much time?
Yeah,
So
I
this
mean,
was
yeah, you create chart, you bring in chart, and then maybe that's what the question
bringing
is.
bringing a chart is not at all, it doesn't require that much time. But definitely, the more time is, creating the charts, so bringing the chart. Also, I want to add here, so how heavy is your dashboard, so how much data it actually contains. So it depends on that. Like the charts which I have created or connected, they really took very less time.
Okay. So one last question here. I do see this question a lot, and everybody would want to go back and attempt whatever you have shared with us today. So do we have any free versions that we can use, download and use? And again, how can we connect, or is there a possibility that we can connect these reports directly or Tableau directly to Salesforce using some developer license?
Yes, there are, like as I told you in the very beginning, Tableau desktop trial version is free for 15 days. So you can easily install it, just use your email ID. And Tableau Public is free for 1 year. So you can use it if you are a student of a university. So I think Tableau Desktop is also available for 1 year. But I'm not very much sure about the later part of the mention, but definitely it is free for 15 days and public is for like always, whenever you want. So if you
Okay.
want to learn for longer time, you can always learn. Like just try it with Tableau Desktop because more features are there. Then you can always try it in public to just reach to a level of expertise. And what was the another question, Neha? I forgot that.
That was essentially around this only. How can they try
Okay.
it? I mean, do they need licenses or what? So fair enough. I think rest of the questions, maybe you can drop us an email, or Shweta shared her LinkedIn ID and Twitter link, so you can reach out to her over there, and maybe we can take it then. So that's it. In the interest of time, we'll have to start the Kahoot quiz. Praveen has already posted it there. But yeah, Shweta, thank you so much. Thank you so much for sharing all these details, and we are really looking forward for your next session.
Thank you very much for giving this me opportunity.
Great. So over to you, Praveen. So let's wait for another 30 seconds and then we can go in. I can already see 50 people in here.
Let's start the quiz.
Great. So I think Shankar is topping the chart at the moment with Jagdeep and Veshu following him right there. Can we go to next question, Praveen? Okay. Can we measure be discrete? True or false? Great. 41 people correctly answered this question. And again, let's have a look at the chart. Shankar topping the chart with again Jagdeep and Shweta following. This is second last question. What is the minimum number of measure needed to build a scatter plot? Okay, so let's look at it. Shankar, Jagdeep, Akash topping the chart, Ashish and Vishu following right after. Which connection type would you use if your work demands that you use the freshest possible data at all the times? Great going, guys. 34 people answered it correctly. And Akash is at third position. Jagdeep stands second today. And the highest scorer for today is going to be Shankar. Congratulations, guys. And thanks everybody else for participating. Okay, guys, so this was a part one for Tableau session. We'll meet next Saturday with another topic. See you all there, and thanks for joining in. Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Shweta. Thanks, Atul.
Shankar, give me the
Thank you, everyone.
mail ID and LinkedIn ID.